In the taper, I start to psych myself out. Mentally, all my confidence starts to wane. I start to question everything that I'm capable of. I start to think of if the paces I'm able to run is actually feasible. All those mind games start to really mess me up. But you might be saying, Eric, the series title is No Time. Why are you putting so much pressure on yourself? Well, from the beginning, I said I wanted this race to be a PR no matter what. And that means it has to be faster than 2:32:44. Staring down the idea of running 5:49 a mile for a whole marathon is very daunting, or even faster than that, even more daunting. But as I sit here a few days from the Chicago Marathon, I have to reflect on the most robust, most intense training block I've ever done in my whole life. So that's the goal of this episode, is to look back over the 12 weeks of work that I just did, all culminating in a 23-mile long run workout, which I decided to run through the streets of Chicago on the Chicago Marathon course. The streets I'll be running in no time.
No time.
Boom, no time.
You for a while.
All right, Chicago Marathon is in a couple of days. Just so you know, some housekeeping items. I will be doing a shakeout run on Saturday morning. It is at 435 North Michigan Avenue at 8 a.m. This is in collaboration with BPN, so there'll be some goodies there from BPN. The plan is to do 3 miles or 5K for you non-Americans. I hope to show up just a little bit early, hopefully in the 7:30, 7:45 window. I can't promise that I'm going to be around for a whole lot longer after the run because I have other commitments to my athletes who are going to be racing Chicago, as well as my boys that have some playoff baseball games. If we could get in sort of a group and hang out and talk, hopefully we could do that, as opposed to in years past, I've just kind of done like a 1-by-1 line and meet and greet. Unfortunately, with how big of a peak race this is and how much we'll be doing, I don't know if I can commit to that, but I would still love to meet you, love to see you there. This is the little area around the Apple store and the Bandit pop-up. It's like a big courtyard area, so it should be able to house a lot of people. And it's just gonna be a lot of fun. So please come out if you have the ability. If you are attending and spectating the race and wanting to film some of my race, that would be so appreciated. If you could, for me, please just make sure to film horizontal like this instead of vertical. That's gonna help with a YouTube video. So yeah, if you're recording on your phone, just make sure that it's horizontal. And then I'll be linking a Google Drive folder. It's the pinned comment down below. So you can come back to this video and find that folder and drop your footage into that folder. If you could do so with the mile marker that you're at on the course, so we know where it was taken and your name, that'd be so amazing. Also post that folder on Instagram after the race, so there'll be multiple spots to find it, to drop your footage. Thank you in advance so much. That's what makes these race videos so awesome. A massive thank you to Kaizen and Bandit for being title sponsors on this whole No Time series. 50% of their sponsorships have been contributed to the St. Jude fundraiser that I've been doing for the entire series. So just massive shout out to them. More on Kaizen in a bit. They're sponsoring this video, some of their graphs and data from the block. That's super interesting. Oh my. But let's just chat through some of the specific accomplishments I've had through this entire block. Also, wearing this and a beanie, that's a very good sign for a few days with how cool it's getting in Chicago. Weather's looking pretty good. All right, number one, I did not miss a single day of work that was prescribed. I only had 2 rest days the entire block, and I took them. So that's just a huge mental win. I didn't get sick at all. I mentioned that in another episode. I think that had to do with better nutrition, better sleep, and just managing rest and recovery really well. Number 2, every single week of the 11-week block, pre-taper was 80 to 100 miles per week, 7 of which were above 90 miles. And I've never come close to this kind of volume for this long. So it's massive for how fit I am and what I'll be capable of on race day. Now, I intentionally counted macros the first half of the block. You saw it in one of the episodes, and I didn't do it the whole second half of the block, but I used that intuitive knowledge that I gained from doing that every day to limit the amount of fats and make sure that I was still hitting a ton of carbs and protein every day the second half of the block. And it seemed to have worked because I weighed in at 156 earlier today and yesterday, which was my target goal weight from the beginning. I kind of can't believe I got there, but I'm there now. And I've been at that weight during race or near race before, but I've felt weak, and I don't feel weak this time with how much I prioritized recovery, rest, and the gym. To that point, number 4, I averaged 6 hours and 50 minutes of sleep per night for the whole block. I was hoping for 7+, and I think some of that data might be a little bit skewed, but there's only so much you could do as a dad of 4. I'm like more than fine with 7 hours of sleep every night. I feel rested and fine. I actually feel like I can't get more than 7 hours these days. It's really hard for me to get to 8 without waking up. 5, I got in the gym almost the exact same amount as McCurdy. That's something where I lacked on this build. There were tons of positive, tons of things that I hit, best training I've ever done, but it was still kind of like that around 10 times in the gym throughout the whole block. Still felt very strong, had 0 injuries during the build. Finally, 6, while I ran a bit more than Jeff prescribed for me, my coach, it was always easy miles that I tacked on to the weeks on easy days. So a lot of times it was just catching up on Sunday with a bit more mileage just to get above that 90-mile threshold mark. All right, so you've heard me talk about Kaizen's race prediction aspect of their app. That's really like their flagship thing and what brings so many people to the app. I love that part of it. But there's also this other training load component and a graph that they show you throughout your block. And that's really helpful in a time of taper like I'm in right now to reflect back and look at that work. So here's my graph from Strava from the past 12 weeks, the one that you are probably pretty familiar with. And then here's my graph on Kaizen from the past 8 weeks, measuring training load. Similar graphs, but very different because Strava's is all about just volume and mileage, whereas Kaizen's tracks the mileage and volume, but it also tracks how intense your week was, as well as cross training involved as well. So the higher the peak, the more intense the week was. So yellow is what I accomplished and gray is what Kaizen actually recommends. So you can tell that Jeff's training fell pretty much in line with Kaizen's recommendation throughout the past 8 weeks. And you can see that upward trajectory from left to right into the taper, obviously, in the past 2 weeks, as you would see and recognize with less volume and less intensity. So for me, it's really helpful to see these high peaks and recognize and look back at those weeks. I love looking back at the high peaks and wonder why those were high. Like this one, it integrated that huge long run workout that went so well for me. That's great to look back at those and remember how fit I've become and how much I've built off of even that point since then. It's an incredible assistant and guide to pair with your already built training plan. If you'd like to try out Kaizen for yourself, you could do 14 days for free with my code Floberg14. It's linked down in the description. Thank you so much to Kaizen for sponsoring this episode and the entire series. All right, now for the longest workout of the entire block, the 23-mile Scorcher. So I obviously talked about my fitness and all the gains I had with this whole block in the first half of this video. So today's tree time is going to exclusively talk about the St. Jude fundraiser that we've been doing the entire series. St. Jude's a hospital that takes care of kids that have critical illnesses, and the amazing thing about them is that they don't charge a single penny to the families who are at St. Jude. It's all completely crowdsourced and fundraised with campaigns and donations like this series. From the beginning, I said I was so inspired by Ryan Trahan's efforts with his St. Jude fundraiser in his 50 States YouTube series, and it's been so incredible to see what y'all have done in this fundraiser. The entire series, I've said that every new subscriber gained on this channel through this series, I would be donating 50 cents. The total subscriber donations for the whole series through episode 9 has been $2,435.50. And from the beginning, I said 50% of sponsorships on the series would be going as well, and that's totaled $7,575, which means based off of our new total, all of you have individually and independently donated $30,958.50. That's insane.
Whoa.
Our total fundraising so far is $40,969. We blew past the last goal I set on the last episode, and I reset the goal. It's now at $52,400. The reason I did that is because for every $1,000 raised on this campaign, I'll be running 1 mile the first week of December. 52.4 miles would be the goal if we raise $52,400, which is a double marathon. So if we do that, I'll be running a marathon back to back that day in December. And what's so cool, I mentioned that this whole fundraiser was inspired by Ryan Trahan. I actually got connected to his representative at St. Jude, shout out Jason, and he offered to bring me down to St. Jude and their marathon in the first week of December 6th. So I full well plan on running my ultra marathon that day of the St. Jude marathon. It's just gonna be a matter of if I run the course twice. I guess that's up to you guys and how much you donate in this last week. I would love for you to spam those donations. Hey, if you've gained anything from this series or anything from this channel, the only thing I will ever ask you to do financially in this circumstance is to donate to this campaign and to change the lives of families who need it. So this is my last call to do so. I hope you guys absolutely blow this thing up and maybe go well past $52.4 thousand. If I saw that thing at the end of the race after Chicago and it was blown up past that, I think I might lose my mind. So thank you again for all of your insane generosity and all of your support in this fundraiser. I know the families at St. Jude thank you as well. Love you guys so much. All right, last time getting down from the tree safely. Will I ruin my race or not? strive 35 for that. Got kind of hard at the end, but I just need to focus on fueling and getting it down even though it's uncomfortable. My legs are gone. Gone. Alright. That's a wrap. On the block. Time to go lay down. That was very good, but very hard. Good confidence. The whole workout was 2 hours 25, so I mean, add 3 more miles to that. That's a marathon. 3 more miles, that's 6. You know, looking at 240 in the workout, 242 in the workout. That's good. Okay, I need liquids. You got the keys. All right, time to taper. Oh yeah, Cyrus. Have you ever heard of this stuff? It's called overnight oats.
You got my bra in that shot? Are you?
Coming down here is like, oh yeah, we should probably finish this basement.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because that'd be great.
Filming down here because it looks hideous in your camera?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah, it just looks like really scary. Back to where we started.
How many weeks ago was your first episode?
12? Like 3 months ago.
That's crazy.
How do you feel?
Fittest I've ever been. The legs are a little tired, but they're gonna be ready for all the walking we're gonna do on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know what your mile pace is.
Well, that's a secret.
Okay, well, I need a
General
idea.
Okay.
So I know what times to get to the spots. A Chicago Marathon Pro.
Yeah, you are, truly.
Well, this will be like the 3rd year I'm doing it the same.
You can't really tell how much more trained up I am or how much more ready or if I'm more fit outside of me telling you, right?
This is the calmest you've ever been for a race. So maybe in that way I can tell you feel ready.
Yeah.
And prepared. The first episodes when you were doing food and the push-ups and the sit-ups. I mean, that kind of, I wouldn't say fell to the wayside completely, but didn't take as much priority after a while. Is that true for food still, would you say?
Yeah, I already covered that earlier in this episode.
Okay.
But I just kind of let those things go
Completely let
halfway
them go.
through. Yeah, the food's been for like a whole month. I haven't tracked. Maybe 5 or 6 weeks. Just kind of intuitively did it after tracking for a while.
Yeah. Well, you probably learned from what you...
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. So, I don't have Strava. No, I don't know what your times look like. I don't know what your workouts look like. But I would say, like, in the past, you've had really nervous, anxious energy leading up to race week. And this week, I keep forgetting that it's like 3 days away because you're just so calm about it. I also feel like you've been really like a diva in the past, but not as much this week. Is that fair?
Yeah, it's true. That's really good to hear.
Good job.
Thanks. Tried really hard. All right, we'll keep it at that. I love you so much. Thanks for doing this series.
Yeah. Good luck.
Everybody say that's awkward.
Zoom in.
When I go wide angle, you're just like lit. Everybody hit the comments and say how awesome Sabria is. She doesn't think she's gonna get recognized out on the course.
Oh my gosh.
Make sure you say hi to her. Be like, I know who you are. Go say hi to her. Can't believe how close it is. It's the best weekend of the year. Love you all. See you on the other side.